array. First function is array function, then empty function, ones and full function, align space function, reshape function, from string function, zeros function, arange function, copy function, or identity function. Especially align space is not there. Arange function, there is single R. Now our first program is to create an array with the help of array function. First line you will write import numpy as np. Then you have created a list T1 85619. Then you have created an array A1 is equal to np.array array function. Then T1 list, that means you are converting a list into an array. Then print A1. You can see the output 85619. So this is our first program. If you want, you can change the values also. You can run this program 569. Now our next function is from string function. And this file I have already typed all the functions for you, and I have made them as a comment. As you can see, these are in green color, that means this is a comment. These are ignored by the compiler, and only these three lines will be done. That is import A1 print. Now import numpy as np. A1 np.from string 5, 6, 7. D type is float, that means data type is float, separator is comma. So we will run this program and you can see the output 5, 6, 7. There is a decimal there. If you want it to be int data type, you write here int. You can change this separator also. Suppose I change this to hash. Run the program. You can see now this is an integer type, decimal is removed, and hash is the separator. Now we move to our third function, that is empty function. Now empty, np.empty, that means we are creating an empty array. 3, 3, that means 3 rows and 3 columns. D type int, that means integer data type. You can see 3 rows and 3 columns. They can be any random value. I can change the dimension, that means 2 rows and 3 columns also. You can see here 2 rows and 3 columns. It can be 2 rows, 2 columns also. You can see 2 rows, 2 columns. Values are random. It will take any random value. Now our next function is zeros. In zeros, we will create an array of 5 by 5. That means 5 rows, 5 columns. That type again is int. 5 rows and 5 columns, all having value 0. You can change number of rows and columns. Three rows and 4 columns. Now our next function is ones. next function is once. Now np.once, you have created an array 3, 3, that means 3 rows and 3 columns having value 0. Sorry, once, having value once. So I can change to 4, 3, that means 4 rows, 3 columns having value 1. Now our next function is full function. And this we are creating 5, 5, that means 5 rows, 5 columns and having value 9. This value can be changed. For example, I want to display 12 here. So you can see 12 value is present there, 5 rows and 5 columns. You can change the number of rows and columns also. 3 rows and 2 columns. Now our next function is arange function. In this function np.arange 5, 6, that means starting value is 5, ending value is 6, ending value is 16, excluding 16. It will give 5 to 15. Suppose I want to display from 10 to 20. I will take the starting value. I have to display 20. I will take one extra, that is 21, because it takes one value less. That means excluding last value, that is 21. And if you take only one parameter, that is 10, it will start from 0 and then it will exclude last value. That means 10. If I take 50, it will display from 0 to 40. 1, 4, 40. Now our next function is align space. In this align space function, we have given the starting value, we have given the end value, and we have given in how many portions you have to divide this value. That means 1 to 10, you have to divide into 10 equal portions. You can see this is the starting value, this is the end value, and this is the value in how many equal portions you want to divide it. Our next function is copy function. In this I have created array A1, np.array 10, 8, 7. A2 is equal to A1. That means A2 will have all the value present in the array A1. If I make any change in A1 array's value, it will be reflected into A2. In A3, I have created a copy of A1 array. So A3 is having a copy of A1 array. Now, if I will make any change in A1, it will not be reflected in A3. In next line, A1 0. 0 is your index value. That means at index 0, you want 10 to be replaced by 15. In next line, I have used print statement. I have written within inverted comma. Whatever you write within inverted comma will come as it is. Then comma A1. In place of this A1, the value of A1 array will come. Similarly, A2 will come as it is. In place of A2, value of A2 array will come. A3 will come as it is. In this A3, value of A3 will come. So you can see here, 15 is replaced in A1 and A2, but not in A3, because A3 is having a copy of A1. So any change you have made in A1 will not be reflected in A3, but it will be reflected in A2 array. Now our next function is reshape function. In this I have created an array A1 having values 10, 8, 7, 6, that means 4 values. Now I have used reshape function. Reshape function is used to convert 1D array into 2D array. I have written 2, 2. That means I want it to divide into 2 rows and 2 columns. That means in A1 at least you should have 4 values. That means you should have 4 values, exact 4 values. You should have exact 4 values to convert into 2 by 2, because 2 by 2 means you need 4 elements and you should have 4 elements. You can see here. Now if I convert it into 3 by 3, that means I should have 3 values, exact 3 values in A1 array. Now I have exact 9 values. I can run this program. That is 10, 8, 7, 6, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now my next function is I, or identity function. I, or identity function. In this I have created 5. That means an array of 5 by 5. 5 rows and 5 columns. You can see at diagonal there is 1. This is the feature of identity function. It will create an array of 5 by 5 and at diagonal it will place 1. Suppose I give it here 3. That means array will be created 3 by 3. And in diagonal element it will have 1, value 1. In place of identity you can also use I function. So you can see the result is C. So students, thank you.